But just when Seon-woo thinks he's getting the hang of this, following the red threads, deciphering their meaning, something happens that throws everything off balance. He sees a red string, tied to a corpse. A woman is found brutally murdered in her apartment. The police call it a robbery gone wrong. Open window, signs of struggle, valuables missing. It fits. But Seon-woo? He sees the truth dangling in the air, the red thread connecting her to someone who isn't her husband, someone still alive, someone still tethered to her by fate. Suddenly, the glasses aren't just a window into romance or secret crushes. They're a crime-solving tool, or a curse. He brings his discovery to the police. They brush him off. Of course they do. Who's going to believe a guy who says, "Hey, I can see invisible strings of fate that point to your killer"? No one. That's who. So, Seon-woo does what no one else can. He follows the thread himself. The trail leads him to a mild-mannered office worker named Min-jae. Clean record, family man. Nothing out of the ordinary, except one thing. Min-jae has a secret. He knew the victim. Not through work, not through family, through something else. Something buried in whispers and late-night rendezvous. As Seon-woo digs deeper, he realizes the red string isn't always about love. It can represent obsession. An obsession, when twisted tight enough, can strangle. He confronts Min-jae, armed with the truth no one else can see. At first, Min-jae laughs him off, until Seon-woo mentions details only someone truly connected could know. Min-jae's smile falters. Then he runs. And suddenly, Seon-woo isn't just an observer. He's in the middle of a manhunt, a red line stretching between him and a killer who now knows he's being watched. As the days go on, Seon-woo learns the rules of these threads aren't so simple. Some threads pulse like veins, bright and thick as if two souls are vibrating in perfect sync. Others are faint and fragile, like a connection that was broken long ago but never truly severed. Then, he sees something terrifying. A black line. It wraps around a girl's neck, dark and writhing like smoke. No one else can see it, but Seon-woo knows what it means. Death. Within hours, the girl collapses at a train station. Cardiac arrest. Random and tragic, the news says. But Seon-woo knows better. The black line was a warning. The glasses aren't just showing him love and lies. They're showing him fate, life, death, everything in between. And now he's caught in a tangled mess of invisible threads, each one tugging him towards something he doesn't yet understand. Then she appears. A woman Seon-woo has never met. Quiet, unassuming, eyes like winter storms. Her name is Yuri. He spots her in a crowded plaza, but what stops him cold is the thread connecting them. It's different. Not just red, but glowing, pulsing like it has a heartbeat of its own. A line thicker, stronger, and more alive than any he's ever seen. And it's connected to him. For the first time, Seon-woo is no longer just a spectator of fate, he's a participant. Yuri seems unaware of the thread, or at least pretends to be. She brushes past him without a word, but something in her gaze lingers. Like she knows him, like she's been waiting. Seon-woo follows the thread, and her. But what he finds isn't love, it's something else entirely. Yuri isn't who she appears to be. On the surface, she's an art student. Quiet life, no criminal record, no connections to the recent murders. But the thread doesn't lie. Seon-woo watches her from a distance, puzzled. Every night she sits in the same cafe, sketching in a notebook. Always alone. Always looking out the window, as if waiting for something, or someone, to arrive. Then, one evening, Seon-woo finally speaks to her, and she smiles. It's not warm. It's not cold. It's knowing. "I was wondering when you'd show up," she says, like they've met before in another life. And then she says something that makes his blood run cold. "You can see the strings too, can't you?" They talk for hours, quietly, cautiously. Yuri explains she's had the glasses since she was a child. But unlike Seon-woo, she never needed them to see the threads. Her gift was different. While Seon-woo sees connections, Yuri sees endings. She calls it the unraveling. She can tell when a thread is about to snap, when a relationship is nearing its end, when someone is about to die. And lately, she's been seeing a lot of snapped threads. Too many. Something, or someone, is severing them. Yuri believes the murders aren't random. They're deliberate, targeted. Someone is using the threads to find victims, and severing them one by one. A serial killer who sees the strings. They compare notes. The murders Seon-woo tracked. The red lines turned black. The victims, all connected by threads that should have been about love, intimacy, trust, all destroyed. And now, Yuri has seen her own thread begin to fray. Something is coming for her. Seon-woo tries to keep her close, tries to protect her, but he knows the truth. If the threads are fate, then fate might already be written. And you can't outrun fate, unless you can change it. But to do that, Seon-woo will have to find the person who's rewriting the rules, the one who's not just seeing the strings, but cutting them. The media calls him a ghost. No fingerprints, no witnesses, no connection between the victims. At least, not one anyone else can see. But Seon-woo sees it. Each victim was bound to another by a glowing red thread. And now, each of those threads has been sliced clean, vanished, as if someone knew exactly where to strike. The cutter isn't just a killer. He's playing fate like a violin, and the tune is getting darker. Seon-woo begins mapping the threads. Every victim, every string, every severed connection. A pattern starts to emerge. Not geographical, not personal, emotional. The victims weren't random. They were all people at turning points. Cheaters, liars, lovers about to leave. Their threads were strained, but not yet broken. Until he came along. The cutter wasn't just killing people, he was cutting them off before their fate could resolve. Like burning a book before the last chapter. Like someone trying to rewrite destiny. Yuri mentions a place she once dreamed about. A room filled with red threads hanging from the ceiling like spider webs swaying with invisible wind. Each string attached to a person. Or a corpse. She thought it was just a nightmare. Until Seon-woo finds it. A real room. Hidden behind an abandoned building on the city's edge. A place that doesn't exist on any maps. Inside, hundreds of red threads stretch across the space, tied to photos, case files, even articles about the victims. The walls are covered in scribbles, symbols, notes written in languages Seon-woo doesn't recognize. But one message is clear, scrawled across the mirror in thick black marker. Love is a lie. Fate is a prison. And beneath it, a list. Names, some already crossed out, others still alive. Seon-woo's name is near the bottom. Yuri's is right above it. Now, it's personal. The cutter has seen them, tracked them, marked them. Seon-woo doesn't tell Yuri about the list at first. He doesn't want to scare her. But deep down, he knows. She already knows. She can see the unraveling. And her thread? It's shaking. They try to trace where the red room came from. The building's owner? Missing. The real estate records? Forged. Every clue seems to vanish as quickly as they find it. But then, a breakthrough. Yuri remembers a face. A man she used to see watching her from across the street. Always in the background. Never speaking. Just observing. He had old glasses, thick lenses, and a strange habit of writing in the air with his fingers. Seon-woo finds security footage, zooms in. It's the same man who sold him the glasses, the one who vanished without a trace. The man who gave him sight. Might also be the one using it to kill. Seon-woo pores over the footage, frame by frame. The man is always in shadows, never facing the camera directly. But one detail sticks out. He has no red threads. None. Everyone Seon-woo has ever seen had at least one connection. Romantic, familial, even strangers brushing shoulders on a subway platform. But this man? Nothing. He's not tied to anyone. Not even fate. It's as if he's already dead. Or was never alive to begin with. Yuri calls him the Null. She's seen him before too, in glimpses, at the edge of crowds, in reflections. Watching. Always watching. Like a puppet master admiring his work from the rafters. But there's more. In one frame of the footage, Seon-woo notices something strange. For a fraction of a second, the man's glasses glow. Not red. Blue. A different kind of light. A different kind of sight. The blue glow isn't just cosmetic. Seon-woo starts noticing subtle shifts in the threads around him. Some change direction, some vanish. Others twist. Yuri figures it out first. There are other glasses, she whispers. If Seon-woo's glasses reveal red threads, emotions, love, destiny, then the blue lenses must show something else. Control, manipulation, perhaps even the ability to rewrite the threads entirely. Suddenly, every death makes more sense. The cutter isn't following fate. He's editing it, erasing connections, rewriting relationships, turning lovers into strangers, soulmates into corpses. The blue glasses are a weapon, and Seon-woo has the only tool that can fight back. But there's a problem. His glasses are starting to crack. One night, while watching Yuri sleep, Seon-woo sees it. A red thread tied to her finger begins to unravel on its own. Slowly, like someone's pulling it from the other end. He jumps up, follows the thread into the hallway, downstairs, out into the cold night. It leads him into an alley, where it vanishes into a mirror propped against the wall. But this isn't an ordinary mirror. As Seon-woo steps closer, the reflection begins to move, on its own. He sees himself, then Yuri, then dozens of faceless people tangled in glowing threads. Behind them stands the Null, smiling, and then the mirror shatters. Seon-woo wakes up in his bed. No sign of the alley, no mirror, no broken glass. Just sweat, panic, and Yuri still asleep beside him. A dream? A warning? Or a glimpse into what's coming? The next morning, Yuri is gone. No note, no calls, no signal. Her thread, snapped, not faded, not unraveled, cleanly cut. Seon-woo collapses. For the first time, he feels it, not just the loss, but the thread tearing from inside him, like part of his soul's been torn in half. But grief isn't the end. It's the beginning, because in that pain, he sees something new. A second red thread, tied to himself, short, pulled taut. And on the other end, the cutter. Seon-woo is done running, done watching. He follows the red thread connected to himself, no longer a passive observer, but a man with nothing left to lose. The thread leads him through subway tunnels, abandoned buildings, rooftops no one dares to climb, and at every turn it tightens, pulling him toward something inevitable. At last, he finds the cutter. Not in some dark fortress or secret lair, but in a rundown orphanage on the edge of the city, empty, silent, except for one thing. Dozens of red threads tangled across the floor, like veins spilled open. At the center, in a broken rocking chair, sits the Null, glasses glowing blue. Waiting. He speaks softly, like a man who's told his story 1,000 times but never been heard. "My name was Jae-hyun," he says, "before I saw too much." He was once like Seon-woo, gifted, cursed, chosen, whatever you want to call it. But instead of red strings, he saw the truth behind people. The ugly, shifting truths they tried to hide. Lies, greed, betrayal. "I thought the strings were beautiful," he says. "But they're chains, binding us to mistakes, to people who hurt us, to fates we didn't choose." So he began cutting them. Not out of hatred, but mercy. He wanted to free people, from toxic lovers, from inevitable heartbreak, from dying with regrets. But fate doesn't like to be rewritten. That's when the blue strings appeared, the ones that fight back. the ones that protect the natural order of things. I became a threat, he says. So I hid. But you... He points to Seon-woo. You're different. You're the first one who could follow me. The null offers Seon-woo a choice. Take the blue glasses. Become what he is. See deeper. Cut cleaner. Rewrite fate with knowledge no one else has. Or destroy them. Lose the sight forever. Let the threads play out as they were meant to. But there's a catch. Yuri's death wasn't final. Her thread was cut, yes. But if Seon-woo wears the blue lenses, there's a chance, a small one, that he could trace the echo of her fate, reconnect what was lost, resurrect the bond. She's not gone, the null whispers. Not yet. Seon-woo holds the glasses in his hand. They're cold, heavy. A storm brews outside. Lightning flickers like a camera flash, and in it he sees them all. Yuri, his past, the cutter's victims, his own reflection, all waiting for his decision. He puts on the glasses. Suddenly the world explodes with color. Not red, but blue fire, spiraling threads that move like smoke through time itself. He sees Yuri, alone, trapped in a faded memory. Her thread tangled, fraying at both ends. He reaches out, ties it to his own, and in a blink, she gasps awake. Somewhere in the city, Yuri rises from a shallow grave, covered in dirt, breathless but alive. Her thread glows red once more. The null vanishes without a trace. The glasses? Shattered. Yuri returns to Seon-woo, both of them changed. Neither speaks about what happened. They don't need to. Their thread is stronger now, burned, battered, but unbroken. Seon-woo no longer sees every red line on the street. The threads are gone from his vision. But every now and then, in the corner of his eye, he thinks he sees a flicker of color, a string, a connection, a warning. Because some threads aren't meant to be seen, and some stories aren't meant to end.